Welcome to Move with Mika Pilates and Fitness. I'm your certified Pilates instructor, Mika Madolo. Remember, every move that we do today, please take it to your level, add options. There's always option and adaptations to it. So please modify if you need to. I will help you and cue you with the modifications. Enjoy, move, and let's get started. All right, let's start rotating our shoulders just to get a little movement in our shoulders, and you're gonna breathe naturally here. Now in Pilates, we inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Think about exhaling to execute the movement. But if you can't do it, let's rotate the other way, then that's okay. Just breathe. Please keep on breathing, keep on moving. You know what your body is good for. Movement is for everybody and everybody. All right, let's get started here with your hands by your side. We're gonna inhale, bring both arms up to the ceiling. We're gonna exhale as you bring your arms down to the floor. Inhale, bring both arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, release your arms down to the floor. One more, my friends. Inhale, both arms are coming up. We're gonna exhale as we gently forward fold, maybe thinking about bringing your hips forward towards your feet as you forward fold, and maybe stretch forward a little bit as you exhale again. And then when you're ready to inhale, you're gonna walk your hands back to your legs. Let your sit bones get on the mat. Maybe start tilting your hips upward. Let your spine stack up above your hips, vertebrae by vertebrae, then your neck, and then your head, and then rotate your shoulders. Hands by your side. We're gonna inhale, bring one arm up to the ceiling. We're gonna exhale as we side bend. Inhale as you bring your arm up to the ceiling, and then exhale as you bring it down. Inhale as you bring your other arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, just side bend your ribs, not lifting those sit bones up. Try to keep your sit bones flat on the floor. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale, arm is coming up. Exhale, side bend, feeling an amazing stretch from your ribs to your hips. Inhale, sitting up. Exhale, arm down. Last one, my loves. Inhale, arm is coming up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, sitting up. Exhale, arm down. Let's rotate the shoulders back one more time. And let's come on to all fours. So all fours means your hands and your knees are on the floor. Now, if you have any wrist sensitivities, you're gonna have your hands away from your shoulders. So that'll give you a protection for your wrists, and you're going to bend your elbows a little more. So let's get those triceps working out a little harder. Try to splay your fingers out nice and wide as for a nice little kickstand support, or maybe lift your knuckles off of the mat if you need a little extra support on top of that. Or if you don't have any wrist sensitivities, you're gonna have your hands underneath your shoulders, please. And you're gonna make sure those elbows do not lock in. We need to protect the joints, we need to protect our wrists. You're gonna rotate the shoulders, and your knees are gonna be underneath your hips, not too close together. We're gonna exhale as we cat stretch. And then inhale, come into a cow stretch. And then exhale, tuck your ribs in, tuck your hips in, rotate your shoulders so we're not arching our back. You're going to lift your left arm up, and then you're gonna bend the arm so that the elbow is right underneath the shoulder. Your palms are facing inward. You're gonna tuck your ribs in so we don't arch the back. Nice long neck, please. Let's exhale, lift the left elbow up, shoulder high. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. One more. Exhale, lift. Now let's keep that elbow lifted. Let's start circling our elbow, drawing some circles. Inhale through the nose. Maybe exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let's rotate the other way. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now inhale, gently lower the elbow down. Place the left hand on the floor. Let's work on the right leg. So we're gonna tuck your ribs in, rotate the shoulders just to get yourself in proper Pilates form. And then maybe, if you like, you can point the right toes or just leave them nice and natural. Keep the right leg bent when we lift that leg up. You're gonna exhale, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your thigh to lift the right leg up. You're only lifting up so you don't arch your back, okay? Inhale, you're gonna bring the knee down. Exhale, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your thigh, lift that leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, my loves. Now exhale, keep it lifted. Let's do some little pulses. You're gonna flex the right foot if you can, and we're gonna pulse that leg up. So think about pulsing your heel up to the ceiling. We're gonna pulse it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, don't forget to breathe, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the foot, lower the knee down, bring the hips all the way back. Reach with your hands, reach with your arms. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose here. Exhale through the mouth. Turn your palms up to the ceiling. Wiggle your fingers, my loves. Inhale and exhale. Turn your palms back down on the floor. Let's come back onto the all fours. Give me one little cat stretch here, okay? So when you're ready, exhale, cat stretch. Bringing your chin to your chest, curve that spine up. Inhale, cow. And then exhale, tuck your ribs in, rotate your shoulders, maybe tuck your hips in a little bit so we protect our spine. All right, when you're ready, get into your position, either hands in front, away from your shoulders, or underneath your shoulders. I'm gonna turn around so you guys can see the other arm doing its movement. All right, so I'm going to bend my right arm. My palm is facing inward. The elbow is right underneath my shoulders. I'm gonna exhale, just lift the right elbow up. Inhale, lower. 2 more times. Make sure your left elbow is not locked in. Inhale, lower. 1 more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Now exhale, just lift it up and let's start drawing circles with the right elbow. We're gonna inhale through the nose. Nice long neck, my loves. Exhale through the mouth. Maybe tuck that rib cage in. Tuck everything in. Don't arch your back. All right, let's reverse the circle. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale 1 more time. Exhale. And then lower the elbow down. Place the hand on the floor, or make sure that it's either underneath your shoulders or away from your shoulders to protect your wrists. Okay, let's do our left leg. So when you're ready, maybe point the left toes. Exhale, you're gonna lift the left leg up, bent. Inhale, lower. The knee is gonna try to come up about hip distance high, and we're not gonna arch our back, right? So if you bring it up too high and your back is arching, let's stop it. Make the movement a little bit smaller. Exhale, now lift that leg up. You know we need the pulses, so flex the foot and pulse the heel up. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Lower the knee down. Come into a child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, maybe turn the palms up. Wiggle your fingers. Exhale. All right, bring the palms back down on the floor. Let's come back onto all fours, hands underneath your shoulders. When you're ready, we're gonna get ready for a tricep push-up. So we're gonna either start off with your hands underneath your shoulders. If you have that sensitive wrist, you're just going to make the movement a little bigger. Your hands are gonna be away from your shoulders, and you're gonna bring it forward. Make sure your elbows never stay locked in, okay? So even when we press up, do not lock those shoulders. Now your knees right now are gonna be underneath your hips, nice long neck. My fingers are nice and open wide, okay? Tuck the ribs in. I'm going to inhale, start lowering my forearms down to the floor. It does not need to touch the mat. I'm gonna keep my upper body straight. I'm gonna exhale as I push myself up just with my triceps. I'm not using my lower back. I am letting my lower back relax so my triceps can get the full workout. Exhale, press up. Again, my loves, inhale, lower. Exhale, press up. 1 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, press up. Good job, my friends. All right, curl your toes underneath you. You're gonna exhale, lift your knees off the floor. Straighten one leg, straighten the other leg. Now, if your knees off the floor is too much for you, just lower your knees down so that they're not underneath your hips. Maybe lift your feet up, then we're into our plank. So let's get into plank. You choose your level. Don't let your stomach fall down. You're gonna tuck your ribs in, tuck your hips in, keep your abdominals engaged, rotate your shoulders, make sure your elbows are not locked in. Let's hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's lift our hips up into a down dog. So we're in down dog now. And the most important thing about a down dog is that your tailbone and your sit bones are up super high. It does not matter where your hands are. And it really, not yet anyways, if your heels cannot touch the floor, that's okay. You just feel that beautiful stretch for your lower back, for your thighs and your calves, maybe even behind your knees, you might feel it there. And you're gonna start bending your legs nice and slow so you can get a nice deeper stretch in your thighs, in the back of your legs. And then let's stop pedaling our heels. And you're gonna hold your tailbone up. Take one deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And then inhale, bend your knees. Let's walk your hands, if you can, towards your feet. Let your feet go flat on the floor. Straighten out your legs, but do not lock your knees in. And keep your forward fold. Inhale, hold. Exhale, hold. When you're ready, inhale, you're gonna let your upper body hang heavy. Start lifting your upper body up. First, tuck your hips in. Let your spine stack up. Nice and slow. Vertebrae by vertebrae. Your neck and then your head. Rotate your shoulders back, but automatically start tucking your ribs in. Keep your posture, please. All right, let's do some squats. We're gonna do 8 squats, my friends. We're gonna make sure that our legs are hip distance apart, toes are facing forward. Usually check with your fists. That helps you gauge how far your knees and your legs need to be directly right underneath your hips. Tuck your hips in, tuck your ribs in, not too far. We're not arching our back, right? We're protecting our abdominals. And then when you're ready, rotate the shoulders so your chest is nice and open. Let's inhale, bring your hips all the way back into your squat. And then we're gonna make sure when you squat, your toes are not curling on the ground, right? You're pressing up with your heels. You're using the entire balls of your feet from the left to the right, right? So the whole thing. It's kind of like a kickstand to support you up. When you're coming up, you're not coming up with momentum. You're squeezing your glutes. You're squeezing your thighs to come up. You're gonna give me 5 more. 4 more. I am a bad counter. Most of my students know this. If you want to join me in a live, online, or in-studio class, just check out my website or go to movewithmika.wixsite.com/movewithmika. All right, you're gonna give me 2 more because I lost count. Last one. All right, come on down. Pulse it out. Give me 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, squeeze to come up. Never move with momentum. Always utilize all your muscles to help you up. Let's do a movement called the heel lift. So you're gonna tuck your hips in, tuck your ribs in, make sure that we have everything connected and working for us. We're gonna do heel lift. So you're gonna inhale, just literally lift both heels up. Exhale, we're gonna bring them down. Inhale, double heel lift. Exhale, lower them down. Give me 7 more. 6 more. Controlling your movements, give me 5 more. 4 more, my friends. 3 more. 2 more. Last one, let's hold it up. So we're gonna inhale, lift, hold it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, nice and slow, lower it down. Good job, my friends. All right, rotate your shoulders back. Let's get to the end of our mat and let's get back down onto the floor. Toes are pointed forward. We're gonna inhale, bring both arms up. Maybe exhale, nice little back bend. Inhale to come up. Exhale, you're gonna dive forward over your legs. You're gonna inhale, bend those knees. We're gonna exhale as you walk forward into your plank. Maybe place your knees on the floor. Tuck your ribs in, tuck your hips in. Let's hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice and slow, lower the knees down. Bring your hips back into a child's pose. Inhale and exhale. Good job, my friends. Come up nice and slow. Let's get onto our sit bones. Bring your legs forward in front of you. We're going to either hold on to the back of your thighs or bring your arms in front of your shoulders. We're going to C-curve our body all the way down into the mat. You're going to inhale, lower, tilt your hips back. Chin is nice and close to your chest. Being very conscious, being very aware of how you're moving. Lowering your hips, spine, ribs, shoulders, neck, and head down. Let's bend our legs. And then when you're ready, we're going to do a movement it's a stretch called pelvic curl. When you're ready, you're going to inhale through the nose. Exhale, lower the back of your hips, tilt them back. Your spine, your ribs, all the way flat to the floor so there's no space between the back and your mat. Inhale, arch your back. Tilting your hips upward, tilting your ribs upward. Now there's space between your back and the mat. Exhale, tilt your hips back. Lower everything nice and flat on the floor, pelvic curl. And then inhale, just hold it here. Let's lift one leg to tabletop. Other leg to tabletop to get ready for our hundreds, or you can keep your feet on the floor. If you have a sensitive neck, then you're gonna keep your head, neck, and shoulders on the floor. Everyone's gonna bring their arms above their hips. If you don't have a sensitive neck, if you feel like you can do the entire movement, bring your chin to your chest. You can't stop here because you're really gonna affect your neck. You're gonna curl your shoulders upward so those shoulder blades are not on the floor. Everyone's gonna start pumping your arms and you're gonna start breathing, and guess what? I'm gonna start counting. Let's go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, hug your knees. Lower your shoulders, neck, and head down. Really hug those knees nice and close. Turn to the right, turn your head to the right. Back to the center. Turn your head to the left. Back to the center. Let's place your feet flat on the floor. Let's bring your right leg into tabletop. Your arms are just gonna relax right by your side. Relax your shoulders, my friends. When you're ready, you're gonna exhale, extend the right leg up to the ceiling. Inhale, bend it down. Exhale, extend that leg up to the ceiling. Your knee and your leg is above the hip distance high. You're going to flex your right foot. You're gonna point the right toes. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Now inhale, flex the right foot. You're gonna lower that right leg down, thinking of pressing with your heel, making sure that your body doesn't arch, so you're gonna keep those ribs tucked in. If your body starts to arch, that's where you're gonna point your toes, and exhale, lift your leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, point your toes, lift your leg up. Give me one more. Inhale, lower, nice and slow. Exhale, point your toes, lift your leg up. Bring that knee into your chest, give it a great big hug, lower the foot on the floor. Let's do the other leg. Bring the left leg into tabletop, knee is above your hip. Exhale, you're gonna extend that left leg up to the ceiling. Inhale, bend the leg. Exhale, extend up. One more. Exhale, extend up. Now flex your left foot. Point the toes. Inhale, flex. Exhale, point. Last one. Inhale, flex the left foot. Lower that leg down nice and slow. Really thinking about pressing your hips and your ribs nice and close to the mat so we're not arching our back. Exhale, point the toes. Lift the leg up. Again, two more. Inhale, lower. Exhale through the mouth. lift that leg up. One more. Inhale, nice and slow. Really think about pressing down with your heel as low as you can without arching your back. Exhale, lift it up. Bring that knee to your chest. Let's straighten out the right leg. Let's do single leg stretch. So you can either let your right leg rest on the floor or let it hover off the floor for a little extra spiciness. Tuck your ribs in so you don't arch your back. You're gonna exhale, tug your left knee in. 1, 2, inhale, switch. Exhale, tug the right knee in. 1, 2, inhale, switch. One more on each side. Inhale, switch, tug it in. And then inhale, switch. Let's keep the right leg straight, and you're gonna lift the left leg up to the ceiling. Now you can rest your shoulders, neck, and head on the floor, or you can level it up, bring your chin to your chest, curl your shoulders up, maybe float your arms above the floor, and scissor switch those legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, my loves. Hug the knees in, lower the head and shoulders down. Place your feet on the floor. Let's open up your legs about mat distance apart. Let's place your hands underneath your head. We're gonna do some ab curls. And for Pilates ab curls, and for the beginners, this is pretty much a beginners to just beyond beginners movements. We're just gonna curl up so our shoulder blades are not touching the floor. So when you're here, you're gonna make sure that your legs are firmly planted on the floor, your feet, sorry. Your legs are bent. You're gonna tuck your ribs in, tuck your hips in. You're gonna give me 5 ab curls. You're gonna take a nice deep breath in through the nose to start. Make sure your elbows are nice and relaxed. You're gonna exhale, bring your chin to your chest and curl up. Your arms are not doing anything except staying behind your head. Inhale, you're gonna uncurl. Exhale, you're gonna bring your chin to your chest, lift those shoulder blades up. Inhale, you're gonna uncurl. Exhale, chin to chest, curl your shoulders up. Use your abdominals to help you up. Inhale, uncurl. 2 more. Exhale, ab curl. Inhale, uncurl. Exhale, ab curl. Inhale, uncurl. Last one, we're gonna hold it up. Exhale, ab curl. Reach your hands above your hips or by your hips. And let's do tiny little crunches. So crunch up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, nice and slow, uncurl. Let's straighten out one leg, straighten out the other leg. Let's do a movement called the Pilates roll up. So we're making sure that our body is in neutral position, so you're not completely pressing your back down into the floor, but your ribs are gonna stay nice and heavy, right? Your shoulders are nice and heavy into the mat, and your feet are gonna be nice and firmly planted. I'm gonna show you 2 options, and then you choose your option. So option 1 is to have your hands underneath your hips. You're gonna make like a diamond shape or a triangular shape with your pointer fingers and your thumbs. So both pointer fingers and both thumbs are gonna be right around your tailbone. You're gonna make sure that you try to press the back of your hips. You're not gonna touch, but try to press the back of your hips down to the mat. Try to press your ribs into the mat. Okay, so you're really nice and heavy, nice and protected. Imagine that there is a crank right around your lower part of your pelvis, right around your pubis bone. When you're ready, you're gonna inhale, bring your chin to your chest. If you need to, press those elbows down, curl on up. Use your inner abdominals in the front to help you press up, and then you're gonna exhale, forward fold. Inhale, you're gonna curl back, right? So we're gonna do like a beautiful C curve coming back. You're gonna think about bringing your hips back, lower those hands, lower your forearms and elbows to help you out, because I really want you to control yourself to come down. So that's option 1. Option 2 is you're gonna bring your arms to your ears, and if you've done Pilates before and feel confident, this will be your option, okay? Nice long neck, take a nice deep breath in through the nose here, my friends. Exhale, really tuck your ribs in. Make sure those feet are super heavy into the mat. Don't arch your back. Inhale here. Exhale. Now inhale. Bring your chin to your chest. Roll on up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll back. Think about bringing your hips back. Your spine, your ribs, your shoulders, neck and head and arms down. Exhale. Inhale, roll on up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll back. Nice and slow. Think about your whole body just doing this movement. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, roll on up. Exhale, forward fold. Fold, reach, 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 reach. And then inhale, sit up. Rotate the shoulders and bring your hands down. All right, let's get onto our side, get our side lying series down. So you're coming down to the side, maybe bend your arm or place your head in your arm. Just make sure that your ribs do not press into the ground, right? Because we need to tuck your ribs in. Really think about your posture. Tuck your hips in. Thinking about keeping your bottom rib and the top hip super close together. Think about them as being best friends and they need to stay close together. Check your legs because we need those hips stacked right on top of each other too. So a good way to check is to see if your knees are stacked, or I really like it if your knees are above, the top knee is above the bottom knee. So it kind of goes over so it's protected, right? I'd rather you fall forward than backwards, okay? Tuck the ribs in, making sure the shoulders are also stacked. Maybe put your fingers on the floor, or you can lift your arms up to the ceiling as long as your shoulders are not near your ears. Rotate the shoulder blades, tuck the ribs in, keep yourself protected, okay, my friends? You're gonna exhale, lift that top leg up. Inhale, you're gonna kick it out. Now, if your leg is not completely straight, that's okay. But you're gonna inhale, flex your foot, swing the leg, keeping it the same height, going forward and back. Exhale, squeeze your glutes, point your toes, swing the leg back as far as you can without losing the motion, losing your posture, right? Inhale, flex your foot, bring it forward. Exhale, squeeze your legs, squeeze your glutes to bring it back. Don't let your posture move, okay? Don't let your upper body move. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. One more. Inhale, swing forward. Exhale, swing back. And last one, inhale, swing forward. Maybe let your toes kind of fall down and let's pulse that leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Bend that leg. Let that leg drop and then straighten out the bottom leg. Tuck your ribs in, tuck your hips in so you're not losing your Pilates posture. You're gonna exhale, lift that bottom leg up. Inhale, lower. Now think about just lifting up with your thighs, not with your feet. So let your foot relax. Squeeze your inner thighs to lift it up. Inhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lower. Use your breath to help you. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. All right, let's straighten out both legs. Let's do a movement called the scissors. So you're gonna keep the ribs tucked in. If you need to, place your fingers on the floor. We're gonna lift both legs up. And you're just gonna do small little scissors, front and back with your legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Making sure that you're not falling backwards, right? So if it feels a little funky, that's okay. I want it to feel funky. I really want you to protect your body. Bend those legs, press yourself up. Let's do the mermaid stretch. Inhale, one arm is up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, come up. Exhale, arm down. Inhale, other arm is up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, come up. Exhale, arm down. All right, let's swing those legs around and let's go to the other side. There's no time to lose. Always have to make both sides nice and even. We're on the other side. Take a look at your knees. Make sure that they're stacked right on top of each other. Tuck your ribs in, tuck your hips in. Maybe your fingers are on the floor or up above the ceiling. Your shoulders are not near your ears. Rotate those beautiful shoulders around and let's make sure that our torso stays nice and still. Exhale, you're gonna lift that top leg up. Inhale, extend it without moving your ribs or your hips, okay? They're gonna stay nice and still. You're gonna inhale, flex your top foot, swing the leg to the front. Point the toes, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abdominals. Exhale, bring it to the back. Inhale, swing the leg to the front. Your torso is not fishtailing around, right? No fishtailing. We need to keep everything still. Inhale, flex the foot, swing it to the front. Exhale, swing your leg to the back. Inhale, bring it forward. One more. Exhale, swing it to the back, my loves, as far back as you can without losing that momentum. Inhale, swing it forward. Let your toes kind of relax. Let your foot relax. Maybe drop down. And let's pulse that leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, that feels so good. Bend the leg, drop the top knee down, straighten out the bottom leg, my friends, making sure you're nice and extended. Tuck the ribs in, tuck the hips in. Do not let them move. Do not let them separate. Think about using your thighs, not your feet or your calves, okay? Exhale, you're gonna lift that bottom leg up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Don't let your ribs fall into the floor. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lower. 1 more. Inhale, lower. Place your hand on the floor so you can straighten out both legs if you need a little help there. We're always keeping our hips stacked, right? You're gonna exhale, lift both legs up, just hovering off the floor a little bit. Let's scissor switch those legs for 5. Not big ones, just small little scissors. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, my lovers. All right, bring those legs together. Lower the legs down, bend the legs, press yourself up with your upper arm, use those triceps. Let's come into our mermaid stretch. Inhale, one arm is coming up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, arm down. Last one. Inhale, arm is up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, arm down. All right, let's come on to our stomach. Nice and slow. You're coming down onto the floor to the front of your body. And you're always coming down with thoughts and awareness of your upper body. So we're on the mat. You're gonna rest your arms on the floor, and we're gonna do a movement called the chest lift. So what we're gonna do first though is we're gonna adjust our body in proper Pilates form, right? So please tuck your hips in. Think about your pubis bone is heavy. It's the bone, the strongest bone in the bottom part of your pelvis is nice and heavy and grounded into the floor. Your hips, think about the back of your hips, wanting to try to reach up to the ceiling so we don't put any pressure in our lower back. We do not want to hurt our lower back. You're going to rotate your shoulders so your shoulders are away from your ears. Rest your head onto the floor. When you inhale, I want you to inhale to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up without trying to press your arms into the mat or the floor. If you do, that's okay, but let's try not to do it. When you're ready, take a nice deep breath in here. Exhale first. And then inhale. Lift your head, neck, and chest up without your arms. Exhale, nice and slow. Lower it down. You do not need to lift your arms up. Inhale, chest lift. Exhale, nice and slow, lower. Last one. Inhale, chest lift. Exhale. Now let's just lower it down and let's hover your head off the floor. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, lift both arms off the floor. Exhale, you're going to extend your arms forward. Try not to arch your back. Inhale, let's pull those elbows in close to our waist. Exhale, extend the arms forward. Inhale, pull those elbows back. One more. Exhale, extend. Inhale, pull. If you'd like, place your hands back on the floor or just keep them lifted. You're going to exhale, squeeze and lift your left leg up. Inhale, bend that left leg. Exhale, squeeze to straighten it out. Inhale, lower it down. Let's do the right leg. Exhale, squeeze, lift the right leg up. Inhale, bend. Exhale, squeeze to straighten it out. Inhale, lower. Again, my loves. Exhale, lift. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten it out. Inhale, lower. Let's do the right leg. Exhale, lift. Inhale, bend. Exhale, squeeze to straighten it out. Inhale, lower. One more on each side. Exhale, lift. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten it out. Inhale, lower. Last one. Exhale, lift. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten it out. Inhale, lower. Hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up into an up dog. Look to the left, back to the center. Look to the right, back to the center. Head down to floor, back to the center. Head up to ceiling, back to the center. Bring your hips all the way back. Maybe come into your child's pose. Stretch your arms out. Relax. Inhale.
Exhale, lift your right arm off the floor. Maybe thread it right underneath your left armpit, giving yourself a good stretch here. Inhale. Exhale, bring that right arm back. Inhale. Exhale, lift your left arm up. Thread it right underneath your right armpit. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your left arm back and bring it back to the center. Maybe turn your palms up to the ceiling. Wiggle your fingers. Turn them back down. Drum your fingers. And then let's walk your hands towards your legs. Let your upper body hang heavy, lifting your upper body. Tuck your hips in so that your glutes are on top of your heels. When your hips are lifted, you're going to start lifting your spine up, your neck, and then your head. Rotate the shoulders. Let's come into your most comfortable seated position. Mine is always cross-legged. Yours doesn't have to be, but I prefer cross-legged. And then when you're sitting down, maybe rest your hands on your knees. Rotate your shoulders, just like how we started. Rotate the other way, my loves. Let's bring one ear to one shoulder. And let's sit up nice and tall. Let's bring your other ear to your other shoulder. Let's sit up nice and tall. Let's look up to the ceiling. Come back to center. Down to floor. Come back to center.